Leo moons, you know what I'm saying? So I know y'all been probably waiting on this. Leo moon, all about that royalty. All, kings and queens, whether you want to say drama kings or drama queens or not, man, it don't matter. The whole point is that you paying attention to us. You paying attention to us, you love us, you hate to love us. It's all those good things. But first thing off the bat, as far as the observation with Leo moons, how you see yourself is everything. And what I mean by that is how you see yourself is basically the foundation of not only how people treat you, right? But it's also how strong you are in the face of people not seeing you. That early on in life, you could go, especially depending on certain alignments you have, other ones, you could go through life in which people downplay you or people don't see you how you would want to be seen and things like that. And you got to understand this is the moon playing out sun-like energy. So in some ways it can be a little bit overwhelming because it on a more negative or lower octave side it can almost feel like all eyes on you at all times, right? Because the sun, the Leo is like that's ruled by the sun, but you got it in the moon's position. So this could turn into a narcissism, a very self-centered way of looking at the world. That's kind of that's leaning you into the low octave aspect of this. So if you get Leo moons who come around who have to be the center of attention because the moon also deals with needs. So if they're not clear on, if they haven't established a healthy understanding or identity of who they, a grip on reality, firm identity on who they are in their position in the world, you can get a Leo moon who's very just toxic in the sense of always constantly needing validation, external praise, and things like that. It can get pretty extreme, all the way down to like if you hurt a Leo moon's feelings, the first thing they might do is create a scene to make themselves the center of attention. So if you think you get around and ignore them, they about to make sure that you see them. They're gonna do everything in their power to make sure that you see how they feel about the situation, what's going on at hand. So that's more on the toxic side. But on the positive side, right? High octave, this is a very generous individual, and a lot of times they turn toxic because they want to give so much. But it's again one of those things where it's like if they don't have a proper sense of understanding who they are, right? Truly feeling confident in who they are. This is where you start to get the, again, it's like always that double-sidedness of are you being generous because that's genuinely what you want to do and who you are? Or are you being generous to get the validation back? Even though they're always going to want the same, reciprocity. That's like key word for them. Reciprocity. That's everything to a Leo moon. Reciprocity. If I'm going to give it to you, I want to know that I'm going to get it back, right? But it's a difference between the high octave versus low octave. Low octave is going to do it from a disingenuous place, a place of just doing it because they figured out that's how they can get validation back. They desperately need it, right? So you're going to feel that desperation off of them. Or they're actually genuine and they give because they have that much to give. And that's the thing about Leo moons. They have the capacity to give a whole lot. So the more healthy ones, these are going to be the individuals who they're not just your best friend. They're going to make sure you feel good about yourself. They're going to be in your circle, literally pumping you up with all the things you needed to hear, the things you desperately needed, everything to inspire you. We're dealing with fixed fire on the moon. So if they feel good about themselves, the first thing they want to do is make you feel as good about yourself as they do about themselves. Again, self-image is one of the most important things and aspects to these signs and things of that nature. Now, being that Leo is it's ruled by the sun. So when it's on the moon, these are very expressive people, unless that expression has been suppressed at young ages. So it's important for a Leo moon to understand that, it's your kind of role to let those feelings out or let your feelings be seen. Now, I'm not saying to lack discernment, and because there's a right place, right time. So sometimes, it's not always the time to show your true feelings or to express yourself. But, I'm speaking more so to just any Leo moon who might have gone through early childhood where being that because when you're a child, you're all your moon. You're vulnerable in a sense. Saying all children start off being kind of open, and then they learn and build their ego based upon their how people react to their reactions. So at a young age, if you have a Leo moon and you maybe express yourself, and let's say a parent didn't feel comfortable or had a conflicting energy that kind of needed you to be quiet and maybe damper down some of that, like, that childlike wonder and that natural kind of inner child in you, then you could be individual who grows up to be either do that in turn to others, or you dim your own light for the sake of making the rest of the room feel comfortable. And I'm just gonna let you know now, you're doing yourself and the world a disservice by allowing that to happen. So at some point you have to start to rebuild that inner confidence so that you can shine, because that's really what Leo moons are meant to do. Y'all are meant to, again, y'all naturally, it's like built-in charisma, right? Not to say you're always going to be liked, and that's kind of one of the things that you have to understand. I'm not always going to be liked, but at the same time, you, part of your gift is that natural charisma and the ability to kind of express and give this sense of warmth to other individuals to help them see their own light. Say a lot of times it'd be the Leo moon that come around to help you see what you couldn't see within yourself, and they're there to kind of bring it right out of you and things like that. They want to put you on center stage, like the healthy higher octave Leo moons. They want to see you on stage faster than they want to necessarily be on stage, because keep in mind too, we're dealing with the difference between the Leo sun versus a Leo moon. The Leo sun, it wants to be seen. So it's a desperation. I want to be seen as this. For a Leo moon, you are that. You are that royalty. So it's not something that you have to put on a face for. It's not something that you have to display as a role. This is really who you are. It's just you have to trust that. The better you build up that inner world and that inner confidence, the more healthy your just interpersonal relationships will be. All it comes down to, like I said before, self-image. Now, because you shine so bright, a lot of times as a Leo moon, there might be situations where people don't want to necessarily, you might make people feel uncomfortable about that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like that hidden enemy thing. This is kind of what they share with Pisces too. You won't even really know when somebody is coming around maybe trying to take what you got. Also, you have to be very aware of people who give you things just to make you comfortable, let your guard down, and then figure out how they can infiltrate and take from you. So, it's kind of like one of those things where you're born with these gifts, these abilities, but being, with great power is that great responsibility. And part of that responsibility is being able to discern who belongs in your space and who don't. You get a lot of people who come around just because you shining or because of what you got. And if you let them sweet talk you and things like that, and again, to hype off that validation, to hype off of the compliments and stuff like that, before you know it, somebody could trick you right out of your position, and now you looking crazy. Now you really, you feel that Leo rage and things like that. Now you want to burn the whole kingdom down and things like that, when at the same time it's your fault. So you have to be very aware, because in this lifetime, it's going to be people who come around who just see you as a lick. You just a walking lick. As soon as I see you, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And people will smile in your face. They'll reflect your energy on right back to you as like smiling and trying to be generous and stuff like that. But you have to be very aware of who's genuine and who's not. Integrity is one of the most important things for y'all too. As a Leo moon, if you're not moving in integrity, trust and believe that will come back to kind of maybe bite you in some capacity. Even if you feel like you're getting away with it on one end, it's you got to think about the Leo energy is like the sun. It's a spotlight. So your true feelings is always low key gonna have a spotlight on it. So if you're not being honest with yourself, you out here in the world doing people dirty, it's gonna be exposed real soon. And that's kind of like that shit hitting the fan moment that people be talking about. Overall, when we're going through a Leo moon transit, the most important thing to do is just to kind of connect back. It's all about that inner confidence. So you got to move with that confidence. You got to move with courage. And it's really about being able to not shy away from what might be shed light on. If there's a light shed on it, it's for you to confront it. And the better you can confront it with integrity and courage, the better overall that transit will probably be for you, most likely. All right, much love. Catch you on the next.